Let's talk about coding, but maybe not in the way you're used to thinking about it. Forget the complex math and weird symbols for a minute. At its heart, coding is really just learning a new language. It's about having your very first conversation with a computer.
I mean, just think about that for a second. What if you could actually talk to computers? Give them instructions, ask them to do things, have them build stuff for you, all just by speaking a language they perfectly understand.
The possibilities are just incredible, right? You could finally build that app idea you've had for years. Or you could tell your computer, hey, see all these boring files? Organize them for me every single day. You could even dig into data and find secrets nobody else sees, or create amazing art and games. That's the power you get when you speak the language. All right, so where do we even begin with this whole talking to a computer thing? Well, just like with people, the first step is choosing a language. And for our first chat, there is no better, friendlier choice than Python. So what is Python? Well, officially, it's a super popular programming language. And the key thing to know about it is its simple, readable syntax. Now, syntax is just a fancy word for the grammar and spelling rules of a language. And Python's rules? They're incredibly straightforward.
And honestly, this is the magic of Python. It was built from the ground up to feel less like you're solving some cryptic puzzle and more like you're just writing out instructions in plain English. It's all about clear thinking, not memorizing a bunch of complicated commands.
Okay, this slide says it all. Seriously. Look at the left. In Python, if you want the computer to say hello, you just write print hello. That's it. It makes sense, right? Now look at the right. That's another language called Java. Don't even try to understand the code. That's not the point. Just look at it. See how much more complicated it is? Python just gets right to the point. Okay, so we've picked our language. Now it's time to actually say something. It's time to learn our very first sentence. In the world of programming, we call these statements.
So what's a statement?
It's really simple. It's just a single, complete command. Think of it as one full sentence that the computer can totally understand and act on right away, with zero confusion.
You know, I absolutely love this analogy because it's perfect. When you tell a dog to sit, that's a complete command. The dog gets it, it knows exactly what to do. A programming statement is exactly the same. It's a clear, direct order. So let's circle back to our hello example. This line of code here, print, this is a statement. This is a perfect example of a statement. It's telling the computer one and only one thing. Display the text inside these parentheses on the screen. That's it. Simple, clear, effective. Okay, so we can give a command. That's a huge step. But a real conversation is more than just shouting orders, right? You need to be able to remember things. And that brings us to our next big idea. Yeah, exactly. Can you imagine trying to talk to someone who instantly forgets everything you say? You couldn't build on ideas. You couldn't tell a story. It'd be impossible. Well, computers have the same problem. They need a way to remember information, too. And that's where something called a variable comes in. A variable is basically the computer's memory. You can think of it as a little container or a storage box for a piece of information. And the best part is you give that box a name, so you can easily find it and see what's inside later on. And if there's one thing to take away from this, it's this idea right here. A variable is just like a labeled box. You put some data inside it, maybe a name, maybe a number, and you stick a label on the front, like username. Then anytime you need that piece of data, you just tell the computer, hey, go grab me the box with the username label. So how do you actually make one of these boxes? It's literally as easy as 1, 2, 3. First, you choose a name for your box, your label. Here, we're calling it username. Step 2, you use the equal sign to assign a value, to put something in the box. We're putting the name Alex inside. And finally, step 3, you can use it just by calling its name. Print username tells the computer to show us whatever is inside that box. And this is where it all clicks. This is where we see how statements and variables work together as a team. So in step 1, we make a variable, a box called message, and we put the text welcome to Python inside it. Then, in step 2, we use that variable in a statement. We tell the computer to print whatever is inside the message box. And bam, the computer shows welcome to Python on the screen. See how they work together? So, let's do a super quick recap. We've learned that Python is a language that's all about being easy to read. We've learned that a statement is just a single command. And we've learned that a variable is just a labeled box for storing stuff. And you know what?
With just those two simple ideas, you now understand the fundamental building blocks to write a basic computer program. You're officially ready to have a conversation.
Think about it. You've just taken your first massive step. You've learned the hello and the my name is of an incredibly powerful new language. So the only real question left is, what are you going to build? What are you going to say next?